watching Smackdown live on Tuesdays. Brian always fades out during TNA.
All right, here we are, everybody. It is the Figure 4 Daily Show. Myself and Filthy Tom Lawler. Got a lot to get into here today. Smackdown, Ms. and Mrs., another WWE sponsor review, and a bunch of other stuff, and we're not going to waste any time. Right, Tom? Let's get this show on the road. I hate computers. I just fucking hate them.
Oh, yeah.
There's always something on this show, Tom. Every single time there's something.
What's the problem? What are you upset about?
I'm not upset about anything. I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
Oh, all right. Well, let's do it. I like to settle in, get comfortable a little bit, but now you're pushing me right off the bat, huh?
Yep.
So, SmackDown Live, 9/18 from Tulsa, Oklahoma. It opens up with a Charlotte and Becky video recap, and then we go to the ring, where it is set up for Miz TV. And of course, the Miz is welcoming us inside the ring, and he starts off with the big news that on October 6th at the Super Showdown, he will face off against Daniel Bryan, and the winner will get a future world title opportunity.
Not a match, an opportunity.
He plays it up as if it was hard, very difficult to get this next guest on Miz TV. Then he introduces Maurice, who comes down to the ring, and says that beating Brie was the easiest thing that she's ever done in her life. She's a much better athlete, to which the crowd actually cheered for her, and that she could tell when they were in the ring that Brie's heart, it just wasn't in it. And the Miz cuts her off and says, well, that's just like her heart is not into her relationship with Daniel Bryan. They go on and on about how it's a marriage of convenience for each of them. And finally, they came across a couple that has real love, and they were defeated. Maurice says that tonight is their last night on SmackDown Live for now. There are dueling chants of yes and no. Miz gets mad, demands Daniel Bryan come out. He does, and he drop kicks the Miz into Maurice's stomach. She feigns injury. This goes on. The medics come out. The referee's calling for help from the back. And she gets up to her feet, breaks out in a smile. Of course, the Miz right there attempting to attack with a skull-crushing finale. He fails, and instead Daniel Bryan kind of knocks him into Maurice again as she was in the ropes, and then clotheslines the Miz over the top and sends them both packing to the back.
So, Daniel Bryan was less of a psychopath here, but he still did dropkick Miz into Maurice. And what this segment here was, to me, was they have got to stretch this feud out for 3 more weeks because they got the singles match in Australia. So they had to come up with something to do. And what they came up with was this overbooked, overthought segment right here, where Miz calls out Bryan, Bryan attacks Miz, Maurice takes a fake bump, she reveals it's a fake bump, then she takes a real bump, Daniel Bryan clears the ring, and that's the segment. Like, that's exactly what happened on paper. And, like, they dragged it out so you didn't think about it so much, but, like, what was the point of any of this?
Well, I don't know. But after this, we go backstage. New Day is dressed in Outback clothing, I'm guessing to promote Super Showdown. And then we come back, and there's a Daniel Bryan interview with Kayla. As he's walking backstage smiling, and he's stopped by Kayla. And he basically lets us know that he knew that this was a setup to further complicate things.
How?
Because we all know there's only one thing we know about The Miz, and that's he's a coward. And he's not only going to punch The Miz in the face at Super Showdown, he's going to punch his ticket to the WWE title. So apparently Daniel Bryan knew he was being set up, and he still fell for Maurice's act.
The second time.
Both
No, the
times.
first time. No, the second time was real.
Okay, so it was the first time, yeah.
It's just, this is overcomplicated. It's just overcomplicated. You don't need an angle on every single solitary show. Anyway, there you go. I guess Maurice is gone because Miz and Mrs. is over, and the second season won't start for a while, so there's no use dragging her all over the country when she could be home with her baby, so I presume she really is gone for a while. And then probably when the next season starts, she'll come back. It's going to be rough for Miz with her gone, let me tell you that much. Maybe he's going home, too, for a while. Maybe he's getting his paternity leave.
You think so? I don't think so.
Especially since she gave birth 5 months ago. I think he's out
Well,
the window.
perhaps. Maybe it'll be one of... Well, he just did come out with, Marine 9, I believe. Him, Becky Lynch, Shawn Michaels.
I thought this was okay.
Whatever. So then we had Kofi Kingston take on Cesaro. And, Brian, they went to commercial to start the match.
Of course they did.
To start it this time.
Yeah.
Where Kofi controlled for a bit before Cesaro chop blocked him while he was in the ropes, worked over the leg. I think this was like a 4-minute commercial break. They do a series of reversals when they came back before Cesaro hit Kofi with a diving European uppercut. And if ever you should call an audible, they should have done it right there because he leveled him with that uppercut. It should have ended the match, but he only gets 2.
So that's 2 audibles they should have called on this show. Guess we'll get to the other one later.
Kofi low bridges Cesaro. Then he does the old move where he jumps up on the rope and bounces up and down, stomach first, into a flip dive to the outside. Throws Cesaro in, hits the SOS before the Swiss Cyborg fought out and nailed another uppercut. The neutralizer and scores the pinfall.
Thought the match was all right.
Setting up their match at the Super Showdown, which I neglected to mention earlier. So
Yeah. Cesaro's awesome, and Kofi's really good, but for some reason they just didn't have a really good match. It was a little slow, a little bit clunky. Still good, but when I see Cesaro and Kofi on paper, I think, I expect better. So I expect better next time from these two guys. Hear what I'm saying? Laying down the law here.
all right.
Oh my God,
Backstage.
this segment. Holy smokes.
Go ahead. Would you like to take it?
Dude. So Aiden's backstage with Rusev and Lana. And if you remember the storyline, Aiden kept screwing up. Finally, he succeeded. And then Rusev and Lana liked him again. They're the most shallow 2 people on earth in storyline. So then they go to the pay-per-view, and poor Aiden messes up, and they lose the match. So now Rusev's like, you are not coming to ringside with me. I'm like, you're such a dick.
Okay. That's what I thought as well. But what he actually said was, you're right, it's going to be a good night because you're not in the match.
No, he said, I don't want you at ringside.
And then he just decided to let him anyways?
No, he didn't let him do ringside. He only let him go out to do the intro.
No, he was at ringside.
All right, well, one way or
He
the
was
other.
arguing. He was arguing with Lana the entire time. Ringside.
Whatever he said, he's still a dick. Man, it's going to be a good match tonight because you're not in it. You're even being a bigger dick. So anyway, English gets upset when they leave. And his nickname, or his Twitter handle is Drama King. Well, boy, now you know why. The most dramatic overacting you've ever seen. There's a backstage worker, and Aiden's doing stuff like, I'm so mad. He's gritting his teeth. God. Doing all this shit. And he's screaming about Lana, and it's all her fault. And he turns around, she's right there. And she says, and I quote, I'm going to tell Rusev. Off she goes. She's going to tell on him. It's ridiculous.
Cattle.
It's preposterous. That's what this was.
Yeah. I have been a longtime fan of Aiden English, as you know, Brian. Been advocating for him for years. I'm hoping, once again, this is finally his shot.
You're so naive, Tom. That's what I love about you.
He's great. I love him. Overacts. That's exactly what he's supposed to do. So then we had Rusev and Nakamura in a U.S. title match.
No. We had Randy Orton backstage.
Okay, hold on. Rusev versus Nakamura and AJ versus Andrade Cien Almas were promoted for tonight with a video graphic.
I see. Okay.
Hey, did you know?
Yes.
The WWE has 39 million Facebook fans, more than Kim Kardashian West, the UFC, the NFL, and yes, indeed, Brian, you as well.
Really? Wasn't it a while ago
And
they had
Granny.
Didn't they have like
F4D.
100 million a while ago? Was there like the Facebook big purge and they lost like 60 million fake followers? Or am I just imagining things?
I think it was a Twitter purge. I don't really remember. Because I never bought fake followers, so it didn't affect me.
Didn't affect me either.
So there's a commotion in the production truck backstage, apparently involving Randy Orton, who is badgering an employee to bring up footage of Randy shoving the screwdriver through Jeff's ear at Hell in a Cell. And then he says that all of this pales in comparison to what he's going to do to his next victim. This screwdriver through the ear thing was fucking disgusting. Like,
Really?
I've watched Faces of Death. Yeah. There's this website. It's EFUKT. Sometimes I go in there, see what disgusting stuff is up. All right. This Randy Orton screwdriver through the ear thing made me cringe beyond belief.
Why?
It's gross.
Why?
I can't handle. What do you mean? Why? I can't handle it.
His ear is already pierced. Shit is shoved through it every fucking day.
But it's being stretched. It's about to rip.
It's not gonna rip, dude. It's skin. So your skin is amazingly strong and pliant. That's how you can stretch it out like that and put a big giant ass gauge in it or whatever.
Yeah, well, I think the majority of people are in the same boat as me.
Yeah, they are. They need
I think it's
to
disgusting.
smarten up.
Oh, they need to smarten up.
Yeah.
Come on.
These chair shots
Oh.
to the head that I see in the 90s are way worse than this ear twisting.
Come on.
I just watched Mick Foley nearly die twice. And people are complaining about ear twisting.
What? Two wrongs don't make a right. Like, it doesn't cancel it out the other one.
Yeah, but two rights make a left. Three rights? Anyway. Let's talk about this next segment here. Let's talk about AJ Styles, okay?
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, there was an AJ interview, which I have no notes on.
May I? I'll be happy to. So at the pay-per-view, AJ Styles gets caught at a choke. He cradles Samoa Joe, but he still taps out and he goes unconscious.
He doesn't cradle him. He pins his shoulders to the mat. He doesn't hold the leg at all. You have to hold the leg to cradle somebody.
Whatever. So he wakes up and he's declared the champion. He knows he's tapped out, okay? Samoa Joe got screwed out of the WWE title. Am I wrong about any of this?
No.
Okay. Why did this not open up the show? This is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship was involved in a massive screw job finish here. Why did this not open up the show? So not only does it not open up the show, it's a random, not even in the ring, backstage segment with AJ Styles. And AJ says, Lady Luck was shining down on me. The referee's decision is final. Perhaps, he says, it was karma. And I'm like, this motherfucker is a babyface? He's accepting that? Are you kidding me?
Brian.
Yes?
Brian.
Yes,
listen to me.
Tom.
Listen to me. If King Orca kept going on about these unspeakable things that he was going to do, and then you somehow got one up on him in an underhanded way, you wouldn't go around singing King Orca's praises all of a sudden. You'd be like, yeah, screw him. So guess what?
Yeah, Tom, because I'm a heel. AJ's supposed to be the top babyface here. A fighting champion.
There's gray area in life. Some dude is talking about your wife. King Orca's out there blowing his hole about you and your family. You're going to sit by
I was
idly
disgusted by AJ
and then talk about how
Styles.
great he is.
I was disgusted by him on this show. But I was more disgusted this didn't even open up the show. They buried it in the middle of the show like the finish of the title match was just meaningless. It was stupid. That I stand by. Then he used the term gypped, which I don't think is politically correct nowadays.
Then why'd you use it?
That's what he said!
Who did?
AJ Styles!
Oh, he's from the South.
Oh, come on.
Well,
Talk about Shinsuke and Rusev. I got a lot to say about this one, too.
okay. All right. So Lana and Aiden accompany Rusev down to the ring. And then he and Shinsuke Nakamura had a kickboxing match. Rusev eventually counters a Kinshasa attempt with a Machka kick. And as he gets to his feet and fires up, Aiden jumps up on the apron, gets the mic, yells out, Rusev crush. Rusev looks on, completely perplexed, wishes Aiden down from the apron, but then is rolled up by Nakamura and pinned. So Aiden English, sensing his impending separation from Rusev Day, takes it upon himself to attack Rusev from behind, beats him with the repeatedly with the microphone before singing Happy Rusev Day, dropping the microphone on Rusev and departing.
I thought they should have called an audible here. Thought they should have had Rusev win. The match was going along great. The fans were so into Rusev. This would have been the perfect day. They're not doing anything with Nakamura. Like, he can win the title back whenever. I thought Rusev should have won the title here, and Rusev, Lon, and Aiden could all be a happy group. I mean, they gave up on the breakup 2 months ago anyway, so who cares? But instead, they had to beat him, break him up, and now what? Now what, Tom?
Well, now they'll feud.
Oh, man. You honest to God think that this is good for Aiden English, that he's now broken up from these two guys?
Well, Lana's a woman.
These two fellers, these two superstars. I mean, here's my whole thing. They're better together than apart. So why did we have to break them up? Like, I know you love Aiden, but you know from watching this company for as long as you have that he's going to flounder.
Okay, but I'm optimistic. I'm hoping that that's not the case. I'm not expecting different. Okay? It wasn't like I was going like, hell, this is great for him. I never said that. I'm hoping it is.
I just feel like he's going to be lost, and now Rusev and Lana have lost a very fun part of their act.
Well, you know what? Maybe I'll find him on the Indies, and he can join Team Filthy.
Hey, maybe that's the most likely scenario coming out of all of this.
come to MLW.
That's why you're supporting this.
Yeah.
I love the match, though. I thought the match was great. A great match.
Like I said, it was all kickboxing.
But the fans loved every second of it.
2 throws. I'm not complaining. I'm giving a description.
I'm not complaining either. I'm just pointing it out.
Well, then why say but? That's an argumentative statement.
I'm just naturally argumentative, Tom.
You're very aggressive.
Yeah.
Calm down. We're not competing against each other. I'm not 4'2" Marco Stunt or whatever the hell.
No, I'm well aware we're not competing against each other.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you and our manager out there for that match. I think we should all be at ringside because these fans are gonna get unruly.
I don't know. You're talking about Josh Bishop. He's been He's been slacking. What can I say? Been trying to.
Well,
he's been playing the Charlotte role.
He's been playing the Aiden English role.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Kind of. So we had Andrade Cien Almas take on AJ Styles. Almas attacks at the bell, beats down AJ. The ref asks if AJ can continue, and he says yes. He attacks and fights back before Almas cuts him back down with a kick, lands a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, and then we go to commercial. We come back. Styles lands a DDT, but Almas lands a beautiful spinning back elbow before Zelina, his signature spinning back elbow. Before Zelina interferes with a slap as AJ lays in the ropes. AJ fights back with an Ushigoroshi. Almas goes for a moonsault. AJ gets the knees up. Almas cuts his legs out from underneath during a forearm attempt. Styles preposterously lays in the ropes, and Almas comes off the top with a double stomp to the chest, sending both men to the floor. Almas kicks him to the floor again from inside the ring, and we go to commercial once again. We come back, and Almas charges Styles in the corner, instead crashes to the floor, allowing Styles time to regroup, but not for long, as he lands a diving knee to Almas' face from the apron, or sliding knee, I should say. He rolls Almas into the ring and lands a forearm to the back of the head, but only gets 2. Almas fights out of a Styles Clash attempt, lands the double knees in the corner, goes for the hammerlock DDT, which is countered with a double leg jackknife pin. Almas kicks out. Styles reverses to his feet, pulls him up with him, lands a Styles Clash for 3. Really cool finish. And then Samoa Joe attacks after the match, but AJ is able to fight him off and sends him retreating through the crowd.
I like this match. Thought it was great. I wish they quit beating Andrade. I know he beat R-Truth last week, but in the last month he's lost on every single solitary Smackdown except when he faced R-Truth. I think they need to do more with the guy. He deserves better.
Well, at least he only faces the top guys on SmackDown, you know?
Well, that's true, but
It's like he's kind of elevated to that upper mid-card status just by having good matches with all the Daniel Bryans and AJ Styles.
he had that match in July with AJ where they had a really good match and he lost. And Dave was absolutely flabbergasted they beat him. And it was exactly what I thought it was. They thought he's going to have such a good match with AJ that he's going to get over in losing. And it didn't really happen. But it's like, now they're going to prove that they can make it work. So he lost to Daniel Bryan. He lost to Daniel Bryan. He beat R-Truth, and now he lost to AJ. So, and then Lana and Rusev, he lost on SmackDown the week before. So, in the last 5 matches, he's won exactly 1 against Truth. And I think he's got to actually beat a top guy sometime, somewhere. Aiden English doesn't count.
Did he not beat Rusev somewhere in there? No.
He did, but he's not a top guy.
Well, it's better than losing to him all the time. All right, so Asuka and Naomi backstage wearing fur coats, mimicking each other. We had Billie Kay take on Asuka. The Iconics are in the ring, and Billie saying, "Gross, gross, gross." Peyton interrupts, says, "Yeah, Tulsa's gross." She says, No, we're grossed. I'm grossed out by these new BFFs, Naomi and Asuka. Then they did some awful dance, and Naomi interrupts, does her own much better dance routine, and Asuka comes down to the ring. We have a match. Billie gets the heat with a Peyton, I guess you could call it the heat, I don't even know, with a Peyton distraction followed by what appeared to be kind of awkward and dangerous as she pulled Asuka pulled her by the hair, back and neck first onto the bottom rope. It's a new one. This was short. Billie landed a big boot, went for a suplex. Asuka countered with a rolling arm bar into a back take and a crossface chicken wing for the tap out victory.
That was fine. Did we talk about Joe jumping Styles in their little brawl?
Yeah.
Okay, just check.
Well, I said he attacked him after the match, and then Styles fought him off, sent him through the crowd.
Yeah, Joe runs off like a thief in the night. And he's
trying to hide that haircut.
Screaming at the guy, "You know the truth." He's right. The heel is right in this scenario. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, we were just talking about him. R-Truth.
Not that Truth.
AJ said he's known him for 18 years.
Yeah.
So Total Divas Season 8 tomorrow.
Today.
Today. Okay. Oh. This
Yes.
brings me to something. So, this weekend, I was back home, New England. My sister was having a party. And my brother-in-law's brother-in-law, I don't know what he is to me.
Nothing.
Well, he's my friend, I guess. Doug comes over. We were just talking, you know. And he's a big Ronda Rousey fan. Huge Ronda Rousey fan. Really just loved The Ultimate Fighter when she was there. Always would bring up her fights, everything she was involved in. Big Ronda Rousey fan. Loves her. Starts talking to me about WWE, I'm sorry. Says, you know, I could tell just by watching, Ronda doesn't have what it takes out there. She just doesn't have it in the wrestling ring. Completely echoing Granny's statement.
I was going to say, was he listening to Granny?
He's like, yeah, it just doesn't look right. She looks uncomfortable, pulling her punches, you know, just goes through like everything, just exactly what Granny said. So there's this subset of fans, the very casual fan, I guess, who's not a fan.
They don't get it. It's not working for him.
I was blown away. I was like, you know, the experts, the so-called experts.
Yes.
out there thinks she's doing great.
Well,
No, he's not hearing it.
I don't know if I'd say that, but
So, yeah, there you go.
I don't know if I'd say she doesn't have it.
Well,
She didn't have it 2 Mondays ago, I'll tell you that much, but...
She doesn't have it. I disagree. I'm not a... Anyways. So Paige is in the ring, complete with new short haircut and the world's tightest leather jacket.
It's really weird the way she wears that leather jacket. Like, she cinches that damn thing so tight around her waist.
Hey, I'm cool with it.
I'm not complaining, I'm just
I like the haircut.
pointing it out.
I enjoy...
New hair,
just
same girl.
I'm just like our friend John in Arkansas.
Oh, yeah?
I'm a lover of all beautiful women. I can't even say it without laughing. That's what's on his Twitter or something. All right.
Is it really? I'm going to go check.
Yeah, it's something like that. So anyways, she's out there in this super tight leather jacket, introduces Becky Lynch, hands her a newly minted championship belt to chants of "You deserve it" from the crowd. Becky thanks Paige and says, thanks for having the celebration. Look, I don't need the whole division out here. I just need one person out here. Of course, she calls out her former best friend, Charlotte. Corey had a great line here where he said, hey, what good is it to be at the top of the mountain if you can't look down on everyone else? So Charlotte comes out and gives a long-winded soliloquy about respect to Becky. She was not trying to steal her spotlight on Sunday. She wanted to, respect her. Becky says she wants Charlotte, she tells Charlotte that tonight, Charlotte, you can touch me and you can raise my hand. Charlotte takes offense to this and refuses. Becky says, oh, it's okay. I was just kidding anyways. I don't want you to raise my hand. I want you to put the title around my waist. Charlotte once again takes offense to this and refuses. She wishes that some of her best friend still remained in there. And then Becky says, oh, I was just kidding anyways. I don't want you to put the belt around my waist. I want you to call me queen. Charlotte says she'll never call her queen. Never. She turns her back. Becky utters these, 5-letter word, bitch, calls her a bitch. Charlotte turns around, lands a forearm, sends Becky to the floor, kicks her, or they go outside. Becky cuts her off, kicks her, throws her to the steps, tosses her over the announce table, continues to beat her down in the ring, applies the disarmer, lands a suplex for good measure, stands tall with the belt, and then retreats up the ramp to end the show.
Yeah, I watched it, and then I moved on with my life. I'm done. I'm over it.
Well, what else? What was the other option?
Well, talk about it here on this show and comment, but I don't care anymore. Yeah, she's a heel, everybody. That's it. No one buys it. She's like the anti-Roman Reigns now. They're just going to cheer no matter what. Company's going to make her do dumber and dumber things to make you boo her, and you're going to cheer louder. And yeah, that's it. Let's talk about the chopping block. You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
I know. I think I know who's going.
Really? All right, so Brian Resnick is back here. Says...
is he a real guy?
Yeah.
Do we have confirmation?
He's absolutely real.
Have you met him?
I haven't met him, but I've been in the same place with him. I just didn't have a chance to run over there to see him.
Hold on.
Yes.
Explain this one to me.
We were at a show.
You mean Planet Earth?
We were at a show, and he was running the merch booth, but I was watching the matches with Dave, and I didn't go over there to the merch booth, but I could have met him because he was there. So yeah. Per his count, there are 13 survivors. There are 15 Wednesdays left. That means we don't necessarily have to cut anybody here. But here is the list. AJ Styles, Cesaro, Charlotte, Jeff Hardy, both Usos, Kane, The Miz, Peyton Hoyce, Randy Orton, Rusev, Samoa Joe, and Sheamus. Who are you planning to chop here, Tom? I'm interested.
Well, Brian, I checked on the calendar, and I believe it is no longer Rusev Day.
Really? Because your man broke up with him?
No. Because how did he not see this coming? Aiden gets up there. Just go put on the fucking accolade. You don't have to walk over there and argue with the guy in the corner. Sure, he's being a doofus. That shouldn't distract you. He's done it every single match. This is like the 10th fucking match in a row he's been distracted by him. Come on. Go over there, put on your finisher, win the belt. Don't go over there and get distracted by him and then get rolled up with a schoolboy and pinned. You had the guy dead to rights, and he's going to come over and put his arm up your crotch and hold you down for 3 seconds. Give me a fucking break. Then he doesn't see this attack coming from behind. Come on.
Well,
Get an argument? Come on.
I mean, I have a lot of arguments. I mean...
And Lana, I'd chop the hell out of her, too, if she was still around. Because, I mean, what? Just interrupt him. Just tell him. As soon as the match is over, once you get in Aiden's way, you can't alert Rusev to what's going to happen? I mean, come on.
Well, here's my argument here, Tom. My argument is that I really like Rusev. And
that's not a valid argument.
And the rest of my argument is Kane ain't coming back.
Ha!
So
you think you're going to get me to agree on this week?
Well,
to chop Kane?
Here's what I would argue. Here's what I would argue.
Where's John Cena?
We don't chop Kane, but Kane is just gently retired.
The only way.
I'll even say this. He's not retired, Tom. Kane is promoted off the chopping block to the mayor of Knox County.
I was going to say the mayor of the chopping block. Perhaps that is the only way that I'll allow it. And he will get his own plaque.
Well, if you want to make him the fucking plaque, I bought all the fucking plaques last time we gave away plaques. And then the other argument is,
yeah,
there's Peyton.
Duh.
How is she still here?
Who?
Peyton Royce.
What do you mean?
She's just out there having random matches every week. Like, they're never great. They're never awful.
Hey.
She merely exists on the roster. Her partner's already been chopped. I mean, what's the point of her being here? What, that she was a source of controversy and so we can't chop her? That's bullshit. I think we should chop Peyton.
No, Rusev's going.
Tom, you may live to regret this one.
I don't think so.
All right, listen, I'll make you a deal. Because it's our show. I will allow Rusev to be chopped if you allow Peyton to be chopped, and we promote Kane to the mayor of the chopping block, and he's off the list.
I don't know about that. I'll have to think about it. Let's get back to it. We'll get back to it after Ms. and Mrs. How about that?
Why are you texting me here? Why can't you say this on the air?
I don't think you're supposed to say. Are you? I don't know.
What the fuck are you doing?
It's like that one Al Snow comment I made.
Guess. Dude, let's just do this. Peyton, you're chopped. Rusev, you're chopped. Kane, you're promoted. It's over. It's done. Why was it so hard?
All right. Well, there's a lot of things that are hard when she's involved.
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here.
Decisions.
Dude, that's 3 down.
All right.
Okay, so that means we have 10 survivors and 14 weeks left.
Well, there's definitely going to be some MLW weeks in there.
There will be some. Not for long, though. They're moving to Saturdays.
Well, that's next year.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, yeah. All right. Hey, 10 left, everybody. That was a fun day of chopping. Let's do Ms. and Mrs. This should take 1 second. This fucking show sucked.
Oh,
I've loved Ms. and Mrs. And finally we get episode 5. They're on a bus for 36 hours.
Yeah, I mean...
They had to fill 30 minutes of comedy here.
It was the fakest of all the shows, for sure.
It was a massive struggle.
So, we open up at WrestleMania Access, which, you know what? Why did they focus more on WrestleMania? Like, they showed like 5 minutes of footage revolving around this, and then the rest of it was on this bus. We open up at WrestleMania Access. Miz puts over the meaning of WrestleMania as he talks to Maurice on the phone. All he can think about is his newborn daughter, Monroe Sky, back at home. Then we go to Chateau Marmiz, where Miz has ordered a moving company to show up and take care of all the relocation-related festivities so that Maurice and Marjo can relax. But they're not relaxing, they're packing instead. We cut to Miz and his parents in New Orleans at Mania in a high-rise hotel room where Miz breaks out a cross-country map and alerts his parents as to his planned route to get to Austin from Hollywood. His dad chimes in, of course, wants to get an SUV. His dad was wearing a sweet shirt that he also had made of the Miz. Like he had it made at the flea market or something. His dad wants to get an SUV, have a guy drive behind them all in a U-Haul, and then his dad, will chauffeur Monroe Sky in a separate vehicle. Sounds like a great idea. So Maurice and Miz FaceTime while he's backstage at Mania. He's parading around in a ridiculous red-studded sequin outfit as he enters to defend his IC title on the grandest stage of them all against Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. Miz loses the match, pinned by Seth Rollins, and blames his loss of the title to Rollins on the confusion beforehand, where he had to explain to Maurice how to use the television set to watch WrestleMania.
Did I watch the wrong show? Do they eventually get on a bus and it breaks down?
Mike returns home to begin the move and finds that Maurice has already packed the majority of the household. The tour bus they have ordered is too big to fit to Chateau Marmiz.
Okay, this is where the show started for me for some reason.
What?
Yeah, I'm just totally baffled when you just recap the first however many minutes that was.
Now, granted, that may have been like 5 minutes on the actual show.
Okay, because
it may have been the opening segment, but there was shit else.
Yeah.
So what else do you want me to talk about?
I don't know. I started the show, and that's when the bus couldn't make it up there.
Well, here you go.
Okay. Sounds exciting what I missed, by the way. Fuck.
Well, Mrs. Dad was there, which is always
that's more exciting than anything on the fucking bus.
I mean, I wish you would have seen the shirt he had made for him. That was kind of cool. So they find out the bus won't fit. They're going to have to walk a half a mile with, and I swear, this is what Marie says. She says they're going to have to walk with pumpkin, mocha, spice, and latte in their cages. So what? Who's in the cages? I don't understand. What do they have? Cats? Who's the dog? What's the dog's name?
I don't know what anyone's name is. But
who's pumpkin, mocha, spice, and latte? I only saw 2 cats in this episode. And it was spice and latte. So who's pumpkin and mocha?
Maybe she said with a pumpkin mocha, and we're going to take spice and latte.
Oh, my. No.
Fuck if I know, dude.
I've rewound it to listen multiple times.
Why? You care that much about how many animals they have?
I got to give a fucking accurate recap here.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's think about this, Brian. Eventually, this could be lost. This could be lost in the annals of history. And somebody could find my computer in a time capsule, come across this, and this would be the only written documentation of Ms. and Mrs.
Well, it's more likely they'll find Ms. and Mrs. and they can rewind it themselves. I'm just saying.
Look, it may have been a stretch.
Okay.
But bear with me. Okay?
They get on the fucking bus.
Yeah, they get on the bus. They walk a half mile. Okay. They say goodbye to their home, set sail on a journey to Austin. Jerry and Joel, the 2 bus drivers. Mike can't take the stroller apart, of course. Maurice, apprehensive about this 22-hour drive with Marjo, but Miz embraces it full on. He's excited. The dog gets diarrhea. Monroe vomits. Mocha shits on the floor. Marjo looks like death. Maurice forgot the diaper genie. Mike puts a dirty diaper in the freezer. Marjo disobeys Mike's orders of no shopping as they're at the store. They hide the bus as Marjo leaves the store perplexed, can't find it, finds the bus, chases it down. They move it around a little bit. She is not happy, does not take this prank very well. 16 hours in, the cat starts going crazy as they're all attempting to sleep. They awake. Apparently the bus has not only a foul stench, but Marjo has eaten Mike's pancakes and biscuits in retaliation for his earlier prank. They're well behind schedule at this point. They get a call from Marjo. They say, hey, you locked in the bathroom? She says, no, I'm outside. Apparently they have forgotten her. They return. She, of course, is not pleased.
Ha ha!
Appears.
I need a laugh track for this recap.
she appears like Daniel Bryan in the motorhome, fist cocked at the Miz as there's a baby there. Miz says, look, you got to admit it's funny. Marjo does not admit this. She retreats to the bedroom, and then the vehicle breaks down 144 miles away from home, of course. They all stuff into a car, drive up to their new home, which will be the focus of the next episode, I'd imagine, as we go off the air without a glimpse of the property.
All right, I thought this show absolutely sucked. Here's the thing, Tom. Do you remember the life change when you had your first child? Not the second one, the first one. Do you remember this period? I fucking certainly do, okay? How was the story not that these two people decided we're going to have a baby and we're going to schedule a road trip move from one state to another 5 fucking days after the due date? What?
Well,
so there was no fun, exciting stories about packing up the house, trying to sell the house, showing people around the house, tour buses coming by and trying to run and jump the gate or anything like that. Like, they're moving from their LA domicile to somewhere in fucking Texas. And the best material they could come up with for a half hour was 36 hours on a fucking bus? I hated this show. I thought it was terrible. And I liked every other single one that they did. I've raved about them. This one was bad and boring and dumb and fake. They were on a bus for 36 hours. Good thing the show's not on the chopping block. I'd cut it unrepentantly. That's my review.
Fair weather fan.
Sometimes I am, Tom. But hey, you know what? Everybody will be very pleased.
Or not.
That I ranted about this show, because I will not, in fact, rant about our sponsor dining that we did this week. Would you like to begin, Tom?
No, you can go for it. I mean, we all pretty much know what I'm going to say is the main event. So why don't you open up for me, little guy?
What you're going to say is the main event?
Listen, I write paragraphs about this shit. You go, well, I went there and
I freestyle. I freestyle. And I do an excellent job at it.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And it's a good warm up.
Okay, whatever. I'll be happy to be the opener this week.
Plus,
the
you're
best
not
spot on the show.
You're not bringing what the people want, anyways. You already said you're going to give it a positive review.
I am going to give it a positive.
People aren't
review.
looking for that from you. They're looking for some anger, some angst.
No, what they're looking for, Tom, is the truth.
They want the Napoleon complex.
Get out of here. I always spout the truth anyway. Okay, so this week Tom said, "Hey, let's go to Starbucks." Or not Starbucks.
Did not say that.
Subway.
Fuck.
Subway.
That's why you're opening.
Yeah, Subway. So I thought, man,
you already blew your first spot.
I like Subway. So they're going to have to really fuck something up for me to give them a bad review. So yesterday, myself, my beautiful wife, Whitney, my lovely daughter, Paisley, we went to the local Subway down at the bottom of the hill. And we went inside.
Is that the address?
Yes.
The physical address?
At the bottom of the hill. So we went in there, and Paisley refused to eat any real food, so she didn't have anything to eat. And Whitney got a wrap. I don't remember what kind, but she very much enjoyed it. I got my standby, which is the grilled chicken sub. What's your child doing in the middle of my review? I got the chicken breast sub, foot long on wheat. They give you 2 nice chicken breast patties. I put my usual American cheese on top. And for condiments, I put on some mayonnaise and, yes, some oil so I can get my essential fats. Nothing else. No veggies.
Wow.
Nothing. Meat, cheese, mayo, oil, bread. Bulking up for Marco Stunt. I got that along with my favorite, Lay's barbecue chips. Not as great as those Lay's that I grew up on, mind you, but very, very good potato chips nonetheless. And on top of that, I got a half a cup of Diet Coke, trying to watch the caffeine. Sat down.
Pussy.
The chicken, I will say this about Subway. Sometimes those grilled chicken breasts, they got one of those crunchy nodules in them. I hate that.
Oh,
This one didn't have any of those. It was very smooth, succulent breast. I devoured it. I ate all the potato chips. I made sure that I had my last bite of chicken sandwich with the last potato chip, which Whitney did try to steal because she knows the gimmick, but I put a stop to that. I devoured that sandwich. I finished off the Diet Coke, and we moved on with our lives. 2 thumbs up for Subway. They never let me down.
You really brought your A game in that review too, Brian.
Thank you.
I tell you, put a little bit extra emphasis into it this week after I called you out.
What are you talking about?
But unfortunately, Brian, not to be outdone, I took on Subway multiple times on the loop this week. First, I faced off with the newcomer to the scene, the Chicken Caesar wrap, which consisted of warm chicken, a spinach wrap, lettuce, tomato, green pepper, onion, olives, cucumber, and of course, Caesar dressing.
I'm already lost.
Et tu, Brute, the chicken Caesar wrap opened up strong with its big-time poultry-based offense. But after a flurry off the bat, it was easy to tell this wrap was lacking in personality, as it came off dry at times due to overexposure.
Why are you always fighting your food?
After the opening sequence, things fell apart, as spinach's association with strength was disproven as the wrap unraveled during a bite sequence. Some vegetables and chicken were hurt in the fall, but they managed to sell well throughout the remainder of this contest. The best portion, of course, was during the heat, as Caesar held strong and fired up with a tangy yet bold dressing at times. This rookie displayed promise, but in the end, in a callback spot to earlier in the contest, I finished off the wrap by devouring its earlier injured veggies and chicken as they lay prone on the paper wrapper. A solid outing for a youngster on the scene. Look for him to possibly make it as high as number 425 in next year's PW Eat 500. Yeah. I then faced off with Chicken Caesar wrap's Subway stablemate, the Spicy Italian. Mere meals later, I mind you. So, with some intel, of course, it brought a good fight. The Spicy Italian consisted of a blend of pepperoni and salami, topped with provolone cheese, lettuce, onion, pepper, olives, banana pepper, but a light mayonnaise on Italian 9-herb and cheese bread. So this sandwich was a heavyweight contender, despite its relatively lean physique, as it was full and bursting with meat. The accompanying veggies created a crisp offense that attacked my taste buds with a steady onslaught of sweet, spicy, and yet cheesy. I was undaunted, however, as I casually countered the caloric density by changing angles and biting in a way that left no defense available to the self-proclaimed subspecialist. I could feel the sandwich losing its grip with reality as time wore by, and it was reduced to nothing more than bread, some mayonnaise, and a few meager droppings of lettuce. Easy pickings for me to apply a vaunted sub-hold for the finish, as I concluded my battles against Subway on this quick Southwest loop.
Man, oh man. That's the first one we've ever done where 5 stars across the board.
4 thumbs.
4 thumbs up. Up where, Tom? Up in the air. Excellent. What are we doing next week?
Well, there's Sonic. How about that?
Well, we can't do that. There's no Sonic around here.
Okay. We got Snickers.
Snickers I'm a big fan of.
Snickers, I don't know. I don't watch the commercials, but there's a list out there. I can't remember.
Maybe I'll look around, see if there is a Sonic around here. I'm pretty sure there's not, but...
I actually tried to go last night because it was National Cheeseburger Day, and the line was so long I left. And I went instead to Farmer Boys, which is a great chain, and I got in the drive-thru line. I ordered the $1 big cheese special cheeseburger they're supposed to have, and they informed me, you got to come inside to get that. And of course, I was stuck behind or in front of some lady and behind some guy. So then the manager had to come out, ask him to leave and back up so that I could take off. Ugh, what a mess.
God, Closest one is in Marysville.
All right, so let's do it.
No, I said the closest one is in Marysville. That doesn't mean
How far
Marysville
is
is very close.
I'm not going there. Where's that?
Well, I mean, I know you're not, but Marysville is an hour from my house.
Oh, that's it?
Dude, what am I going to spend an hour, this 2-hour round trip to eat a burger? We'll talk about it.
How long does it take to get out to see the fucking whales?
Well, it depends on where they're at.
Well, you going to tell me there's not a Sonic on the way?
Well, I mean, there haven't been whales out, Tom.
Isn't that what they... Isn't
they
that
show
how
up here and there.
Isn't that how they
yon.
communicate sonic frequency?
Listen, if the whales are in anywhere near a Sonic, I'll go. But, like, the whales come and go on their schedule, not anyone else's. So I don't know when and where they're going to be. No one knows. Even Whale Scout. All right, let's do the plug.
Well, then what? What's Whale Scout doing?
Well, when they're here, we tell you where they're at.
If they don't know where the fucking whales are.
We're not weather people. When they show up, we tell you where they're at and where you can go see them. With a trained naturalist free from shore. It's quite the deal. Whalescout.org, everybody. All right, let's get some plugs in.
So this Saturday, Black Label Pro, this weekend, Crown Point, Indiana, the Darkest Timeline Championship Tournament, Round 1, Filthy Tom Lawler, that's me, taking on the Warhorse, Jake Parnell. Brian, after I win that match, I'm going to win the Darkest Timeline Championship Tournament for the second time in a row. Defending champion. Right here, you're talking to him. And if Marco Stunt gets out of line this Saturday, oh boy.
No. Leave him. Leave him for me.
Okay, fine. MLW, October 4th, Fury Road, New York City. Check it out. Prestige Wrestling, Hermiston, Oregon, 10/12. I'm there. I don't know what else to say. I don't have a match yet. Black Label Pro, November 3rd. Brian, I think you're going to be there.
Big day, correct? Baby. Big day. Tom hasn't even been announced yet, but it's going to be a big match. I'm in good with the promoter. I can tell you all it's going to be a really big match.
Then MLW Chicago, the Chicago debut, November 8th. Last time I wrestled in or fought in Chicago proper, walked out 50 G's richer after a knockout of the night in the UFC. I plan on doing it again. Walking out, my hand raised. And then I have sources that tell me that Filthy Tom Lawler is in negotiations to appear November 24th with Golden Boy MMA on the undercard of Tito Ortiz versus Chuck Liddell.
Really?
But I cannot confirm those talks.
Wow. That's awesome. It's awesome. Maybe we'll confirm it next week, everybody. We'll get to work on that. All right, check it out at Filthy Tom Lawler on Twitter, at Brian Alvarez on Twitter. Make sure you get your tickets for November 3rd at Black Label Pro. The front row gone, or almost gone, actually. I think there are a few left. But you got to grab now because they're going to be gone. It's going to sell out, everybody, again, just like last time.
Just like
Tom
you.
and I killed that Rock and Roll Express.
Save your stubs, just like I saved mine when I pulled Brian out of the ring.
Get out of here,
from the Rock and Rolls.
Get
that
out
little
of here.
Stub.
Yeah, we're going to go on a tear later this year. Trust me. That's it for me, everybody. We'll talk to you again.
I'm on one.
After a while.
Man.